Hi everyone, we are live at the White. Hi everyone, we're live at the White House, and we have our team behind us here. The White House is behind us there, so they're facing our pictures of the abortion victims towards the White House. But we have Mark here. So what's going on here, Mark?
Well, as you say, we're at the Lafayette Park, which is the park in front of the White House. This is where all the Free Palestine protests have been happening lately, where they've had a bunch of riots and stuff and trying to tear down barricades and so forth. So this is the traditional public forum to protest if you want to protest from the White House. So we're showing the victims to Joe Biden and his administration. They have actually closed down Pennsylvania Avenue temporarily because a dignitary is going to be coming through. Now that could be anybody, might even be the president. What's the next question?
So do you have any idea about what Biden's plans are in 2025 if he remains president?
Well, yeah, so the same plans he had in 2020, and that is he wants to legalize abortion through a federal law, which is called the Women's Health Protection Act. They say it would codify Roe, which means it would make Roe a statute, basically, make a statute that's similar to Roe, but they're actually going to, if they get this passed, it would go far beyond what Roe v. Wade allowed. So that's number one. Of course, we know they're going to continue to try to fund Planned Parenthood, giving them billions and billions of dollars. There are other things, but those are the two main ones that he can do. As the president, he can sign executive orders. We'll probably see more of those. Again, expanding abortion access around the country. So we know what we get with Joe Biden. It's more the same. And I imagine they're going to be fighting some of these state battles too, and trying to, use the power of the federal government to squeeze the states that try to limit or ban abortion. So that's probably the plan.
So what would the process look like to overturn something like that? It would be a lot harder, right?
You mean if they were to pass a law like the Women's Health Protection Act?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Congress would have to pass something to restrict abortion, and that's not likely to happen either because we have, depending on how the Congress ends up, right? If we get control, if the Republicans get control of the Congress, that means the House and Senate, then we might be able to pass something. But there is not much happening on the pro-life front here in our nation's capital, both ways really. But there's more likelihood if you have a president who's pro-abortion, he can use the bully pulpit to try to get these things passed. So we want to keep him out of the White House, and we want to win Congress back.
Most of all, though, it means that our work, as what we do at Create Equal, is necessary and so needed. No matter what happens politically, our work is needed, right?
Yeah, it's always needed. In fact, politics is downstream from culture. That means that public policy changes because of the culture. So right now, we got to win the cultural battle. That is changing hearts and minds. That will change the politics. That'll elect the right people, pass the right laws. It's the long game. I mean, there's no easy way to get this done. In the last several decades, we've done fairly well in restricting abortion. We've done well politically, if you want to say, in the state houses. I think more than 30 state houses are controlled by the Republican Party, at least in the governor's mansions. So we win politically a lot of times, but we're losing the culture, and that's why with Roe being overturned, we're 0 for 7 in these states, and we got to do a lot better changing people's hearts and minds. So that's what Create Equal does. That's why we're here, even though today we're doing this at the White House. We're constantly out using victim imagery on college and high school campuses in the public square.
Yes, and we'll continue to do that.
Of course, that's our core mission.
Yep. So we will be here tomorrow in DC still for the March for Life. So make sure that if you're in DC, come and stop by. We'll be along the path of the marchers tomorrow at John Marshall Park with our Jumbotron showing the footage of the victims of abortion. So make sure to come and say hi and make sure that you're remembering why you're coming here to march. It's for the babies who are victims.
Right. We'll be at Pennsylvania and Constitution. You can't miss us. if you march, you won't miss our big Jumbotron screen. People wonder why we bring it to the march, because the march needs to be representing the victims, and the victims are the unborn. So we couldn't imagine a march that wouldn't have the victims in it, right? And that's why we bring the victims, because they need represented here.
Yep. Thank you for joining, everyone.